Our next guest we've wanted on the show for ages. Friends of Mage from a long time ago. We have Emma Lougheed and Brid Martin of Pine Village School. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you.
to be here.
Hi, Jeffrey. Thank you for having us.
That's our pleasure. Now, Pine Village is a unique school, and I'm on the board of directors of a school, and so I'm a big fan of schools. But so why don't you tell our listeners what Pine Village is all about?
Sure. So Pine Village is a Spanish immersion preschool, which means that we basically educate children between the ages of 15 months and 5 years, and we use Spanish as the vehicle. So we're full immersion. We speak Spanish to the children all day long, and typically we serve an English-speaking population. So most of our kids are English speakers, and they come to Pine Village to learn Spanish as a second language.
Because the parents want them to grow up bilingual. At least bilingual. There could be more, right?
Bilingual, bicultural,
Right.
diverse, inclusive. Yep, they want that experience.
Based on Piaget's philosophy of education, which is a play-based philosophy.
And developmental stages.
Right, developmental stages and developmentally appropriate practices. And it's a mix of philosophies to some extent. I would say that's kind of the basis, Piaget, but it's also, you'll find some elements of Montessori. We're not a Montessori program. We do not say we are. And really, it's like you said, children having fun, and while they're having fun, they're learning.
How best to learn. But would you describe yourselves, and maybe because Piaget may not be as big in an English city, but would you describe yourself as Piagetians?
I think educationally, neither one of us were formally trained that way, but I think as we've developed the program and as we've continued to study and learn about kids, I think we've definitely adopted that. I don't know how appropriate or accurate it would be.
How purist we would be
right,
in terms of one philosophy, subscribing to it. I think we're a mesh.
Tell me the origins of the school. How did this whole idea come together? What was the inspiration? How did the two of you come together?
Well, that's the great story. So we were both in education and ended up having family child care programs in our homes many years ago. We met while we were doing family child care and became fast friends, kind of because we realized how similar our programs were and how much in common we both had, and very naturally began to work together in early childhood and in the field of family child care. So while we were both providers, we had a mutual friend of ours, come to our houses and teach Spanish to the children for a few hours a week. And that was sort of the birth of the immersion piece of the program. So we both were in family child care for many years and sort of worked together, and the opportunity came up for us to work together and open a preschool. And actually that was also the woman who came to our homes and brought Spanish into our family child care programs was actually the connection to the first physical school. So she came with us, and it was the three of us that ran the very first Pine Village School here in Brighton.
What could I learn from you, so that if you wanted to give me advice so I don't make mistakes?
I think making mistakes has been the greatest gift. Really, I really do. I think
Very good.
that I wouldn't change anything of what we've, experienced or had to deal with, and I feel like...
So you're saying you tell the person, make mistakes.
Well,
you've got to make your own
mistakes.
mistakes.
But you have to make mistakes, but you also, I think you make mistakes because you follow your heart. And if you truly are passionate about whatever business you're starting, then you're going to follow your heart. And sometimes when you follow your heart, you're making decisions based on what you believe is right and what is not necessarily always the right business decision. So we've made decisions that haven't turned out to be the greatest decisions. We've certainly learned from them. Neither one of us came from a business background, so we grew this business, and this business is driven by our passion for what we believe in and by what we're good at. So we may not have this great business model that we can give advice to other people who want to do the same thing on. But what I would tell them is to follow their heart and to do what you believe in and to do what you're passionate about, and you'll always turn out okay. You just will. And you have to surround yourself by people who are smarter than yourself. And many people have said that, but it's really true. And that doesn't always work out either, but you always learn. You learn something, and you have to learn, and you have to be open to change, and you have to be open to learning. And as students, you're never done learning. So that would be my advice.